What up, everybody? Welcome to the Smoking Tire Podcast. As always, TST is brought to you by Off the Record. We love Off the Record here at the Smoking Tire. They keep your butts out of trouble, right? It is your right to defend yourself if you're accused of a crime, such as going a little too fast or anything else in your car. You should not just automatically plead guilty. You wouldn't do that with anything else, would you? No. Call the professionals. Get Off the Record. Go to offtherecord.com/TST, and Off the Record will connect you with a qualified legal helper, meaning a lawyer, in the jurisdiction where you got that ticket. They'll fight it for you. They'll go to court. They'll meet with the prosecutor, etc., etc. And my code offtherecord.com/TST will get you 10% off all legal services through Off the Record. I get emails all the time from folks who have gotten their behinds saved with Off the Record, and I wholeheartedly recommend them to everybody out there. All right, guys, on this episode of the show, one of my best friends in the world, Larry Kosilla of Ammo, is out in LA joining me in studio. He got himself a little television show called Extreme Detailing on Discovery Plus. Get it and streaming all over the place. We talk about that. Plus, he has spent way too much money on a Volkswagen GTI restoration. He's having some second thoughts about his 911 GT3, but not so about his Ford Model T. And we talk TV production and all of that stuff, as well as a little blast from our past on this episode of the Smoking Tire Podcast with Larry of Ammo and now of Extreme Detailing on Discovery. Let's do it. Lawrence P. Kosilla the third.
Tree.
The third. Mm-hmm. Not the second. Don't look it up.
We needed two. We needed two others for this. Yes.
Welcome to
good to be here.
The program. Larry's here from New York because he got a television pilot that it aired on Discovery Channel.
That's right, Tuesday.
Talk about that shit. You can also watch it on YouTube. YouTube Discovery channels like
Discovery Plus and HBO Max.
Yeah. Do one of those. If you have a streaming platform, do it there first. But if you don't have any other way, then you can get it on YouTube.
That's correct.
But we'll get to that in a minute. I have a lot of questions from our patrons. First, again, I must apologize. We're not doing this one live because Zach is up north on a vacation. He's backpacking across the Sierras or some shit. He got cell service for not cell service. I think he connected to the Apple satellite for like 20 minutes the other day because I got like dung 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 like 3 texts from him checking in. No one's dead. His uncle who's 70 something fell over and it was a miracle
family.
He wasn't hurt. He's with his wife and dog and his dad and his uncle and his dad's friends.
Oh, that's cool.
They do this trip every year. Not to get too personal into Zach's life, but he has talked about it on the show. But so anyway, he's not here. I can't fucking do this and also do live, so I don't. So once again,
there's a lot going on here.
Once again, my apologies for the patrons who pay for a live show that I can't deliver just this one time. But
they'll let it slide, I'm sure.
They usually do. They're a forgiving bunch, those patrons, because they're invested, right? It's like if you bought Trump steaks.
And here we go.
Yeah, it's like if you buy Trump steaks, you'll be like, he was on the plane, right? He went to the island, but he didn't do anything. You're invested. Hi, let's do a 1-2 shot. So it looks like we're talking to each other.
All right. What are you doing over there? That thing looks awesome.
On my tablet?
Yeah, that tablet looks crazy.
I'm controlling the cameras. I'm selecting like a news director would. Camera 2, camera
Is that
3.
what Zach would be doing right now?
Yes.
Ah.
Yeah. That's why, to do that job, you definitely have to multitask, but you probably shouldn't be
communicating
the lead in the show and also have to do that. It's a suboptimal experience, but I think we get her done.
I think we'll make it happen.
We get her done. There's slightly less B-roll. Don't forget, of course, to follow Larry. Zach has inverse scrolling to me. It's very difficult sometimes.
Jordan has the same thing. It's very
sharing a computer, very, very difficult. But follow Ammo NYC on Instagram, and of course Ammo NYC on YouTube for all of Larry's videos. He has more fucking subscribers than us.
That's not a sore spot at all, is it?
Here. And we just went for a little morning drive. I can't be like, "What's up?" because we've been hanging out for 24 hours.
I got here late last night, so
we went to dinner.
Yeah,
and we had ramen,
very
which
nice,
was very nice.
Yes,
and I took you to Salt and Straw. Some ice cream, next level.
That was good.
And then we went to Malibu this morning for breakfast in the Myers Manx, which was hella fun.
Unbelievable. I equate it to a tighter 964 of all the cars that I have. Like I said, the 964 to me is the most tight. And I literally mean that. Like it's almost every screw has been tightened an extra little bit, and it feels good. This particular car, your car, was just very, very tight, but at the same time compliant because we were on some rough roads going, whatever.
Off-road suspension.
Yeah, I
pretty cool.
Very much improved.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah. There's not a lot of better cars for going 35 miles an hour to Malibu.
I would say I would agree with that. I think you can do a lot of better cars in different up in the mountains or whatever. But to go on PCH at 35 miles an hour, literally with cops every 10 feet, I think that's the best one.
It's the best car ever.
Yeah.
I mean, how crazy is it to do that driving a 500 horsepower car?
It's a waste.
It makes absolutely no sense. But in this car,
that's great. I feel like I could literally touch the ground. I
almost.
Yeah.
I learned the hard way.
I have that on camera right now. You got to watch the studio video. I'm filming him right now, and he's like, "Look at this," and then look at that, and he puts his hand out the window, and what are those things called?
Bollards.
Bollards.
Like a plastic bollard.
Dude, I was so like, oh my gosh, I'm waiting to have your bring your hand back in and
have your no finger.
Yeah. And
I thought I lost part of my hand. I'm like, look at this thing that's like burned down from the fire.
Yeah.
This orange plastic, thing.
Your face is great though. You're like, and then you're like, wait, you do that thing. You're like. Yeah, I'm okay. Okay, I have everything.
Yeah, for a second I was like, "Do I have a thumb?" I'm unsure. Yeah. Stings.
Yeah, that was.
It's fine now. We're okay. That was very short term.
And then someone pulling out on us. I didn't have that filmed, and we almost got T-boned, which was great.
Yeah, it was all rack and pinion steering, baby.
Superior driving that you had.
Passed the moose test.
Yes. Wow, it's true.
It was like a moose test maneuver.
And what's crazy was there was somebody in front of her telling her to pull out.
I know.
Like trying to be like safety. He's like, "Yeah, come on out." We're like, "Dude, what's?" Crazy. Fun times though.
We have seatbelts, sort of. I don't know. In that car, I'm not sure the seatbelts would do too
You have
much.
lap belts. I mean, it's kind of just holding you in as you flip over kind of thing. But
just ensuring you die in the car rather than out of the car.
With a warm butt with the heated seats.
Hey, those work.
Those
we
worked
tested
great.
them.
They worked too good on the high.
Those are good.
Yeah.
All right. Dude, Larry's got his fucking Nodus. His Canyon-based Sentinel.
Sentinel.
That sounds like it's ready to like murder people.
Nice.
Which is funny because it's a thing a Sentinel protects, doesn't it?
Yes.
It doesn't murder.
No.
So this is the first watch that we know of that is usually if a watch features protections, it's designed to protect the things inside the watch, like shock resistance and whatever. This is designed to protect whatever you might knock the watch into, such as a car, were you working on it.
Yes. The idea is I don't really wear watches when I'm detailing for painfully obvious reasons. How can I get a watch that allows me to do both? Mm-hmm. And so what's cool is even the glass is scratch resistant as well.
Oh, is it Hazelite?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So that, and then there's rubber around here, and then I can never remember what is it when you have it reversed?
Oh, it's a lefty crown.
It's a lefty crown.
Yeah.
He said some fancy
destro.
Something like that. Yeah,
destro. It's like fucking Italian for lefty.
That's what he was saying. And I was like, I can't remember that. But
it's a lefty crown. So the crown faces away from the car.
Correct. If you're going like this, you're not going to scratch it. So.
Of course, if I wear it,
That's
goes
true.
the other way.
That's true.
Yeah. I don't like I'm lefty and I wear my watch on my right hand, but I actually don't like lefty watches for that reason. Yeah. So it's not.
This thing's cool.
It's rad.
Yeah.
You can buy. I guess you can buy it at Nodus's website.
Yep.
I should probably pull that up, shouldn't I? Hang on, give me a second. I asked you how much it was, and you told me you didn't know.
No, I told you $9.99.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that! It's right on the
homepage. Look at us.
Baby.
We didn't even plan that.
There you are. Sentinel for Ammo NYC.
Available now.
Let's see.
100
$100 pieces. And the crown on the left keeps it out of harm's way. Oh boy, pop-ups, baby.
I know a couple of people bought them already.
The custom molded TPU bezel is soft to the touch, impact resistant, and won't mar a surface if contact is made. An acrylic crystal is used for lightweight and shatter resistant properties. And yeah,
that looks so
scratches
good up
on the
there.
crystal can easily be polished out, allowing the watch to maintain its pristine appearance even after rigorous use. So people have asked me about a more affordable version of the Canyon.
Mm-hmm.
This is it. Like this
What's
is
the Canyon?
My watch.
No, what the cost?
Oh, the regular colors were $12.99, and the mother of pearl is going to be $17.50.
Got it. So this is the less expensive
Yeah.
version.
So this is on the same architecture, same movement, a very similar case. The case isn't exactly the same, but it's very similar. And the overall aesthetic is similar, but cheaper.
The inspiration was the 964. So if you look at it, it's black
Really?
and it's got the gold wheels. You know what I mean? So that's where that came from. It's
It
cool.
is a lovely watch, and I really like the rubber strap too. I'm gonna have to ask Wes and Colin to send me a couple of the rubber straps for my watches. I want to fuck with
Yeah,
that.
I can't wear the ones that you wear. Oh, that's not
What?
a rubber one.
Oh, what, the bracelets?
The bracelets.
Why?
They just slide around too much. I feel like they grab my hair. I like the rubber.
All right, there you go. They're the quick release. They're interchangeable. So there you go. So you can get that at Nodus's website. You hit all the waters behind my computer, bro. Okay, let's talk about this television show because that's really why you're here. Extreme detailing.
Extreme
Let's
detail.
go back. I gotta pull it up. I'll pull up the shit right here.
Boom.
Tell me about it. We'll start on the static. Oh, there's a reel.
Oh, it's
Okay,
actually
a
a reel.
Muted reel. So tell me about the show.
All right, so I would say I think I told you maybe 2.5 years ago I got a phone call from some folks producing a show for the History Channel, and it was about very old cars, dirty, and cleaning them. And they said, "Do you know anybody that does this?" And I was like, okay. And they described basically like a word for word what my YouTube channel was, and so it was like this very disconnected thing. And I was like, I can't tell if you're trying to like.
Are you trolling me?
Yeah, exactly. I wasn't sure if it was a gag or something. And then, what I learned is, they have, interns or whatever calling this person, that kind of thing. And I was like, yeah, this is literally what I've been doing for, at that time, 15, 16 years. And so long and short of it is we were going to do a show. We went all down the road in contracts, but basically they didn't feel that they wanted me to continue doing YouTube. It would be exclusive on that. And I said, no, I think I'm cool. I want to, keep doing YouTube. I would really enjoy, because I enjoy doing it. And so we parted ways, and I took that concept and I said, okay, let's just go to Discovery. And Discovery was awesome. And they were like, yes, of course, keep doing your social media, keep doing Instagram, keep doing your details, but can you help us find and produce? So instead of just being like an actor, one of many actors on the History Channel, I was now the executive producer on a show that I could be able to design. And in this case, that particular car, we were probably like a week or two before we were filming the actual episode. And I really wanted to have something that was amazing. But you can't just squeeze out a car. You can't okay, I'm just going to go grab a Mura in somebody's living room. And so I had a buddy call me legitimately while we were filming. So this is real. And I said, it was almost like, God sent kind of thing. I'm like, I can't believe this. This is going to be the opener to the show. Called the studio and I said, I have a Mura sitting in the guy's living room, blah, 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 blah. They're like, nah, that's just not for us. And I'm like, I'm telling you right now, this is going to be the biggest thing ever. And sure enough, instead of having like a 30-person crew or whatever it was, I had one camera guy. And then during this shoot, which was really interesting, we went in there, one camera guy. My guy was actually buying the car, and he ended up buying it for 1.2. And I was doing a real job of verifying the VIN and all that kind of stuff. And so when we were walking in, we had to, in the episode, which already aired, so I can spill the beans, we moved the cars that were already in his garage out so that we could then prepare to knock down the wall, which you see in the clip here. When we were doing that, we had to move everything out of the guy's house. Now, at this point, it's about 17 degrees outside, and it's like 2-3 weeks, 1 or 2 weeks before I went to Australia, and that comes back in the story. So it's 20 degrees here. We move everything out. We put it on his lawn. All the neighbors come out thinking that this gentleman passed away, and then we were going in there pilfering all this, taking all his stuff. And so his neighbor's coming by, and they're kind of aggressive and what's up? And they're like, no, he's still alive. We're just filming a show, whatever. And we didn't have anybody there to block the road or give us a little bit of space. And so what happens is in this particular area in Long Island, straight out of Sopranos.
Yeah.
Dudes roll up in the jumpsuits.
Yeah.
Like for real. And this is not a joke.
Guys, we got to take one quick break from the action for DeleteMe. I've been talking about them for some time. You have heard it before. You know what the deal is. DeleteMe makes it easy, quick, and safe to remove your personal data online at a time when surveillance and data breaches are common enough to make everyone vulnerable. Listen, what is a data broker? Well, they make a profit off your data. Your data is the commodity, and basically anyone on the web can buy it. This can lead to identity theft, phishing attempts, and harassment. But you can protect your privacy with DeleteMe. And what it does is it finds all these data broker websites. It finds information that you tell it to look for. Things from your life, your past, your work, your home, etc. And it finds it, it deletes it automatically where they can. It files for requests to delete it. Sometimes you have to do a couple more clicks, but they regularly send you reports about what they found, what they have deleted. So when I did it, the first report was crazy. It was 1,100 things. Not that I had to go through, that's how many were deleted. And then I now get a report every month, and the number is much lower because that big first number took care of a lot of it, but it does keep popping up, and DeleteMe is not a one-time thing. It keeps going, finding new things, as long as you maintain your membership. So you can take control of your data and keep your private life private by signing up for DeleteMe. Now at a special discount for our listeners, get 20% off your DeleteMe plan when you go to joindeleteme.com/tire and use promo code TIRE at checkout. That's the only way to get 20% off. Go to joindeleteme.com/tire and then enter code TIRE at checkout. That's joindeleteme.com/tire, code TIRE. Right. We are also brought to you today by FitBod. Look, having a workout plan that is tailored to you is crucial. I have worked very hard on losing weight. I've lost 40 pounds in the last 2 years. And without my trainer, granted, I'm extremely privileged. I'm able to have a trainer that comes to my home, but not everybody can have that. And the next best thing, you still need that personalized workout plan, and FitBod is here. You don't need the actual personal trainer. FitBod can get you that summer body with workouts that are designed around the equipment you have, the goals, and your experience. FitBod takes all the guesswork out of working out and tracks your progress so you can make the most of working out. Working out's hard. And what really sucks, and I've been there, is to work out and then find out that what you were doing was the wrong thing for your goals. And so FitBod could certainly help you with that. It's like having a personal trainer in your pocket. You develop a customized workout, and you can track your progress to adjust that workout as you go, as you start to, get closer to your goals, hopefully, right? And those workouts can adapt to your growth, track your muscle recovery, and fine-tune and get fine-tuned by experienced, certified personal trainers. So level up your workouts with customized fitness plans that work for you, plus over 1,000 demonstration videos, so your form is perfect. Get in shape this summer with FitBod. Join FitBod today to get your personalized workout plan, 25% off your subscription, or try the app for free for 7 days at fitbod.me/tire. That's FITBOD.me/tire. And now back to the program.
And this is not a joke. And I'm like, oh, hey, what's up? And they're friends of him. And they're like, what are you doing? I'm like, we're shooting a show, blah, blah, blah. And we explained it 25 times to them. And so they weren't really thrilled because they didn't want him to sell the car. But it was like, he called us,
Yeah.
and he was like, no, I'm trying to sell the car. I need to move on with my life or whatever. So the guy who's now annoyed about this because I think he wanted to buy the car or some sort of weird thing, he stood by while we were filming. So there's a shot where I'm talking to the guy Barrett, and we open this up, and we open up the clamshell, and the engine's there, and I'm going, and I'm saying, oh look, it's numbers matching, et cetera, et cetera. The dude walks into the shot. It happens, and I was like, okay, and the cameraman's like, all right, cut, let's do it again. And we're like, hey sir, can you move out? It's tight little room. It's tighter. It's like this tight. And he's like, no. And then everything goes because he was like, no, I'm not moving. And we were like, what do you say to somebody at that point? We explain the situation. And he goes, I can stand wherever I want. And we're like, whoa, like, we're not trying to be aggressive. Like, he called us here. And so we ended up convincing him, hey, can you move out of the shot? And he goes, okay. And I'm not using all the words that he used, but you can understand, right? So he's like screaming at us. So then he goes behind, pretend I'm the cameraman and you're me.
Yeah.
And so the cameraman's here. And then he goes behind the cameraman, takes his phone out, but he has an iPhone that has the sound on. And so when he's taking pictures,
going
clink, clink, and I'm like, now I'm pouring sweat because I'm worried that I'm gonna get like beat up in this whole place. And so fast forward, we get through this whole situation. Now we're knocking down the wall, we're pulling the car out, and on the wall are all these. Like in an older person's house, they have like shovels from 1920 and like brooms and like all this kind of stuff, right?
Like in the garage?
In the garage.
Yeah.
So we moved all these cars out and we're cleaning it up. And as we took like a broom off and we're sweeping up after I'm knocking down the wall so that when the car drove over, it didn't like get a nail in it or whatever.
Sure.
So we're cleaning this up. My guy Jordan is doing that. As he's cleaning this up, I'm banging, right? He's scooping and shoveling it out. These guys in the jumpsuits walk out. And as Jordan is like shoveling things out, he bumps one of the things on the wall. It falls down, unbeknownst to us, because we have headphones on and we're banging stuff. It falls down, and these guys catch it on their foot, and he trips. He thought that my guy Jordan purposely bumped it and come. He grabs Jordan by the neck and puts him up on the wall. So the camera, we had to stop filming because we're like, whoa. I mean, this is not like reality television. I was like worried that we were gonna get like whatever. And the cameraman's putting the camera down and he's negotiating. And I don't know whether to tell him to film or stop choking Jordan at this point because I'm like, is this like a thing? So that particular shoot was absolutely insane. And so we ended up getting it out. Everything was fine. And then at that point, another neighbor came by and started with a gimbal, started filming like with us. And the Discovery Channel guy was like, you can't film. I can't make any of this up. It was like an absolutely crazy story. So we ended up getting that and it became the opener of the episode.
It only cost you like one guy getting strangled. And
Yes. And by the way, when I knocked that wall down, I didn't have a PPE with me because I didn't really expect to be knocking down a wall.
Yeah.
Like I thought we just had to like move a wall or like
Sure.
I don't know what the hell I was expecting, right? So I got violently ill like the day afterwards because when you knocked it down, I was pulling out newspapers which were used as insulation from 1940.
Oh, great.
So then like a couple of days later, a week later, I got on a plane to Australia to go do the Australia ammo launch. I was like devastated on the plane the whole time. Yeah, so that's the real story behind the first episode. Yeah, so that aired on Tuesday, August 5th. But now, like I said, it's on HBO Max and everything. So we're hoping that we get the views that we are expected to get so that we can continue on with the season. And so from what I learned, I don't know what you've done way more television than I have, but I said, how are we judged? Because if I don't know the expectations and I don't know what hurdle to jump, I don't know how high I'm jumping, where I'm jumping.
Sure.
You know what I mean? It's like a logical conclusion, right? So they said that it basically comes down to the show before, which was Mud Madness, where it's a bunch of guys in Tennessee like racing each other through the mud. I don't know.
Yeah.
And so they like the juxtaposition of mud, clean.
Sure.
Okay. And so they said,
dirty and then you got to clean it.
Of course. And so they said if I'm using an arbitrary number, 70% of people in this whatever are watching the show.
Yeah.
Do you retain that same percentage from one show to the next? Does it grow? Does it decrease? By how much?
That's exactly what we were told about Drive on NBC Sports.
From the show before it?
Yeah.
And what was the show before it?
NASCAR races.
Oh, come on. It's like how to lose.
Yeah. We had a really fair shot at it.
Yeah, exactly.
Really fair shot.
So how much percentage did you lose? I mean, you were going to lose, but like how much?
It was a ton. It was like our goal was to lose less. Like that was the goal. I don't remember the exact percentage, but that was
like there were like 100%, right? Let's just call it 100%.
Yeah, if they lost
NASCAR.
100% and we got it to 60 for 27 minutes, it was like a huge victory.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know what the metrics are.
It was an absolute. I was like, wait, I'm sorry. What they want to know how many people we can retain after the checkered flag of a NASCAR race? Like, are you fucking shitting me?
Those guys are drunk. They're gone. They've been watching it for 4 hours.
The TV on by accident? What are we doing over here?
Yeah. So
but that was exactly how they did the math. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
And so now they've taken that plus like modern stuff where now HBO Plus and Discovery Plus and the YouTube, they're taking all of that and combining it with the Nielsen report
Right.
and the loss gain thing we just talked about to then come up with an overall. So tomorrow, today's Sunday, so tomorrow Monday, that's why I'm here, is to figure out like how we did like a preliminary view, and then in 4 weeks I get another test of figuring out like
the long term.
Does this make sense? Blah blah blah. And so,
Anyway, go watch that shit.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Go watch it.
Yeah,
that's one. There's like what 3 storylines. I think
we
in
shot
the first
like
episode,
8 or 9 storylines, and of course they get to pick and choose which one they want.
Yeah.
The first one, the one they didn't want, ironically, was the Miura, and they took it as the first one, right? And then the DeLorean.
The DeLorean, yeah, and then the Discovery.
Then
right?
the Discovery too.
Awful Discovery.
Yeah, that thing was disgusting. It was a New Canaan.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are the 3 in the episode. It's great. We love it. We're hoping it goes well. But yeah, it at the very minimum. And I know, and you and I have spoken about this after, not on podcast or whatever. But it's just cool to check the box. Like, yes, we went from YouTube to television. You hope and pray it goes somewhere, but
Guys, support today is coming in hot from Upside. It's one of the smartest apps you can have on your phone in 2025. Upside gives you the power to earn more money on the stuff that you buy all the time. Whether you're filling up your gas tank, going out to eat, or shopping for groceries, the Upside app lets you earn cash back on every purchase. Right? You can get cash back on daily essentials like gas, groceries, and dining. Everyone knows that stuff is more expensive than ever. You might as well get cash back. You have to buy this stuff anyway. Right? You get started, all you do is you download the Upside app, which is free. If you use promo code TIRE, you can get an extra 25 cents back for every gallon on your first tank of gas. So make sure you show up with a really big SUV, you know what I'm saying? Next, you can claim an offer for whatever you're going to buy on Upside, right? Then you pay as usual with a credit or debit card, follow the steps in the app, and get paid. There's over 100,000 gas stations, grocery stores, and restaurants on the Upside app, ensuring that cash back is always just around the corner. One can earn an average of 8% on restaurant and grocery purchases. And the best part, you can even stack your Upside cash back on top of your credit and debit card rewards. Upside users are earning hundreds of dollars a year. That's probably why they have a 4.8 star rating on the App Store. Download the Upside app today and get an extra 25 cents back for every gallon of first tank of gas with code TIRE. That's get the Upside app for free and use code TIRE to get an extra 25 cents back for every gallon on your first tank of gas. And thank you to Upside for sponsoring this week's podcast. Now, back to the show. The irony is you probably can't say this, but I can because I'm not you. The best case scenario for you is that the TV show promotes the YouTube channel.
Right.
Like that's actually really what it's the opposite of what me and Tom and Zach and Thad started 15 years ago.
Right.
Where we were doing YouTube channel in hopes of getting a TV show. Now you're kind of doing a TV show in hopes of growing your YouTube channel.
That's not completely wrong. Yeah,
right.
I mean, because I can control the YouTube.
Yeah.
Now the difference between television and YouTube, I think most people don't, rightfully so, understand because they're not behind the scenes. I didn't know either. But the speed with which you can do YouTube, obviously, the control that you have with YouTube, the storylines, the scripts, how you cater to your actual viewer base is completely different than that of television.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand and appreciate that in the beginning. And I'm still somewhat ignorant because I felt, and I still feel to this day, that the television, was shot much better than, let's say, than I would, of course, with these zillion-dollar cameras. But I mean, the amount of time and thought and the scripts and the smoothie guys and there's like a million people on set. And it's like, it's so interesting to see the difference between the two, and I argue, I wonder, what the spread is between the two of them based on how much is put in. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I know, but I don't know. For me, the best case scenario is just a YouTube channel that gets enough traffic that you can use a nice camera,
right,
but still not have a corporate infrastructure to support.
Right.
That's
I think
the problem. What sucks about TV, I mean, the trade-off of TV is there's a vast increase in resources.
Right.
But those resources come with a corporate infrastructure that makes that makes anyone who comes from YouTube go, wait a minute, why can't we just do that? Like,
you know how many times I had that conversation? My agent said the same thing. He goes, I understand. I must have heard you need to just relax. That these things take time, and I get it, and I'm not like bashing it. It's just a different beast.
What do you mean we can't do this thing?
I was like, why don't we just rebuild the engine? It's like, well, we don't have the the XYZ for it. I'm like, what do we do? Like, why do we need a helicopter? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I was told a million times that I was an idiot, and then not only the TV show, but the entire network went under. So who's an idiot?
No, but listen, it worked out the best we could because I can only imagine with the first group, because there was a lot more restrictions in the first group. So going to the next one and working with the new producers and stuff, is everything perfect? No, nothing. I don't think ever any production group, any television is perfect, but it definitely went as well as I could have hoped with the constraints that we had and the time frame and blah, blah, blah. I think, let me say it this way, the issue with creating something that's amazing, and I don't know how to get around this, is for you to create something amazing, you cannot force it into 1 week. That's what I learned. Yeah. Like you can't force like a wonderful story, because then I think
you mean the pimp my ride rule doesn't apply? Like it turns out you cannot actually restore a vehicle in 2 weeks.
Like you can do it really fast. The GTI episode, which that we'll talk about in a second, that was 5 weeks. That was like insanely fast, and it was 5 weeks. So I'm trying to figure out a way to keep the high quality camera and the high quality production and all the artists and the people that were there that were amazing. And how do you do that with not a budget of $25 million or whatever, like a movie? How do you do that?
I mean, I don't know, other than you accept that it's going to take longer, but pick mini milestones within it and go, look, I don't need camera guys for 6 months. What I need are camera guys for 6 days, 1 day a month. And I need to be able to plan to have some kind of progress to show at each of these milestones. That's what I would probably do. I don't know if that's a perfect answer. That answer may fucking suck.
That's optimistic, because if you get in, like, let's say you split into 6 things and you have the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 milestone. On milestone 3, we both know how many cars have you and I restored. Yeah. Like, it's never right. And there's always something that goes wrong. Then you have to move this, and then you have to call 700 people to shift that guy from that movie to this thing.
No, I mean, then the answer is literally you have like one PA that knows like a little bit about camera work, who's just like on site, that is the capture it in the moment guy.
I think that's the smartest way, because that's what we're doing at YouTube.
One dude.
Like a 25-year-old blah, 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 that has the camera, that so on and so forth.
Your job is to be ready for if anything dramatic happens.
And if you do that, then I think the quality of the coffee that you make is so much better from the grinds than just like jamming it in and making it work and having it. So, but I also understand and appreciate that that's how that. So to me, I guess the moral story is I didn't know that was a thing.
Production crews are more expensive than engine rebuilds. That's the way to think about it.
That's correct. Production crews are more. That's exactly what it was.
Even pick a show, Overhauling, Pimp My Ride, fucking Gas Monkey, whatever. The production crew is so much more expensive than doing a build. So if you got to fucking shit out the build in order to fit the needs of the production crew, like, so be it. That's fucking TV, bro.
So then what's the solution to making better, higher quality content without having to stay in that?
Top Gear did it by being funded by the government.
Well, I have high hopes for extreme detailing, but I'm not exactly sure that's
Anthony Bourdain did it by being so good at his thing, that nobody could say no to letting him do it, and he had offers, and he didn't have to water his shit down for anybody. That's how he did. He was so good at it that he could. But
that's what I'm hoping we get picked up, and I don't want to say have a little bit more latitude, but.
Well, that's what everybody wants. Right?
Yeah, latitude's not the right word. I just want to be able to create the story that I would like to create, that I'm doing on YouTube now, but with maybe a little bit more budget and a little bit more like, okay.
Bro, my car, they had a year. The blue car we drove today, and it had to be done for Pebble. This isn't a television show.
Right.
It was done 5 days before it has to go to Pebble, starting from a year ago. And Jonathan and Chris, the guys who are responsible for radials at Manx, the last 2 days I saw them were both very sweaty, stressed out, and not sleeping. Yeah. And we didn't have to write that shit.
Yeah, that's real.
Yeah.
That's real.
You don't really need to. You just need to film. It's like an auction. You really just need to pay attention at the end.
So the GTI that we did, which is coming out now, the next week or so, probably right around when this podcast comes out, we found that in the ground. And I was like, you know what? This is a perfect time to have this as the quintessence of what I wish I could have done with 5 weeks. When I understand we only had a week, I get it. And we did and we made amazing television in a week. But like, let's say if I had 5 weeks to do it in with no constraints and had that PA that was running around, that metaphorical PA.
Yeah.
That's what I did with this GTI and filmed we had 2 terabytes. We had 2 terabytes of footage, which, like, if anybody, it's like it's obscene
so
amount.
Much. Oh,
because we had cameras sitting like this.
I'd be like, what? You have what?
He was 40 hours in and it was half done. And I was like, oh, that bill's going to be crazy.
Oh my God, you lost so much money on that video.
Yeah, well, I did. That one I did. But I was trying to run an experiment and be like,
Production crews cost more than engine rebuilds, Larry.
Yeah. So in truth, the edit would be more than the cost of the car when I bought it.
No, for real. An editor's day rate is at least as much as that of a marque specialist for Volkswagen.
Absolutely. People. So at the end of it, I always do like the balance sheet on it. And I'm like, oh, I broke even again, or like I just lost a little bit on it. But it's a great episode. But I really wanted to exercise that. Like, okay, if I could do it the way that I wanted to do it, and I'm still doing it with like 5Ds and A7 IIIs or whatever, like normal cameras instead of the big thing that they had, like where you have to have like two guys carrying it kind of thing. This is what I would have shot because we were at everything that we needed to be at for the whole entire 5 weeks. So that's the part that I'm struggling with. If we could somehow figure out a quicker way of doing it, that would be the best way. And you know what? You see this, the DJI?
Yeah.
There's no plug and they're not a sponsor or whatever. Like half the show, there were some spots where I saw the directors and stuff using this. And I was like, excuse me. I was like, what is this here? And he's like, oh, it's a DJI. And I'm like, you're using this to get, and there was some footage with it. And I was like, really? And that's why I was like, okay.
I've had GoPros in television, professional grade television productions I've been in for 12, 14 years.
The reason I bring that up is like, well, if this is acceptable, which is awesome. I'm not like, I think it's great.
Yeah.
Like, why can't we?
What the fuck I need you for?
I'm saying, why can't we just buy 7 of these things for like one lens of the new one, right? And then put it at the 5 locations and be like, hey, dude, flip that thing on when you're doing a whatever so I don't have to. You see what I'm saying? I wish we could spend time figuring out.
What you want the good camera for is the interviews.
Right.
That's what you need. You want it because you want to fucking look, good
and
lighting.
You want to look. Blurriness in the background.
Yeah, you want that to look nice. But for like fucking chainsawing.
And my think about it, like I'm reaching underneath and I'm pulling out like some disgusting thing. I don't need like whatever. So
that's a waste.
I think these are little tweaks that we can make, but no complaints. I learned a ton. I hope it gets picked up. And if it does, I would love to streamline to be able to do better things like build the engines or rip apart the cars or whatever. Yeah. So anyways, that's the backstory.
I've known you since we were 12.
12 years old, seventh grade.
I've never once in my life heard you express any affinity for a Volkswagen GTI, and all of a sudden you're like, I'm $50,000 into a freaking GTI that I pulled out of the woods. And
the memory of you and me.
I'm like, what are you doing? Like,
I can't help myself when I see something that's cool. So I found out from
you had the Rabbit, which was amazing. The diesel Rabbit.
It was $50.
Yeah,
but it was worth $50. So
it was absolutely $50 of fun.
Yeah, it was the best thing ever. In fact, in the GTI episode I showed you last night, there's a podcast, or a little blurb of the podcast of you and I talking about it. So yeah, I knew of them. I knew that was like the holy grail, etc. And when I got contacted by my buddy Jeff, I saw it and I was like, dude, how much? And for the guy, it was like one of those ones like, I got to get rid of this car. If you want it, you can have it for this much, but you got to get it out today kind of deal. And those always like my ears go up. I'm like, all right, I can't not take a swing at this. And I did. And the guy's like, sure, take it. So I brought it back. And then when I finally investigated, I thought it was a 92. So you see throughout the episode.
Do I have photos of it here somewhere? I'm sure I do. Hang on. Keep
going.
Right
there.
Okay.
That's when it's done.
I gotcha.
So when he told me the price and when he told me what it was a 92. And I was like, all right.
It's a 91.
It's a 91. But he told, like, I originally.
Why does that matter?
It doesn't, because in the beginning of the episode, I'm like, I finally got my 92, whatever. And then when we started doing like VIN verification and going through and like disassembling the engine, we're like, I had a bunch of pros come in. They're like, dude,
and why do you care that it was a 92?
Because I look like an idiot because I say it was a 92 for the first part of the video. And people are like, dude, it's a 91. I'm like, all right. So I'm covering my bases. But you can see it was sitting at this guy's place.
Yeah.
And then from 91 to 92, from what I understand, hopefully your viewers can correct me on this, but from what I understand, there's only 500 ever made in Montana green. The reason, or part of the reason why, is nobody wanted it.
Yeah, that's the best way to get a color. That was like cassis red on my Safari car.
They hated it.
Or frozen berry.
Right. And so now it's super hot. So when I called my VW buddy Corey, and I told him what it was, I gave him the VIN, he's like, dude, this is like the rare of rare. And if you can get it for that price, which is a few $1,000s, he's like, you're out of your mind. Build it, get it built. And so it just kind of steamrolled. And I thought I was just going to detail it as a disaster detail and be all right. But this thing was such a hot mess that all the mice and all the urine was in the heater box. Ugh. So we had to like disassemble the whole dashboard and everything. And then once you did that, and I get J&B, those guys are nuts. When J&B gets involved, they're like, no, we're not doing like half-ass stuff. We're gonna go all the way. And so they ripped all of it apart. And then I called my buddy Bill, and this dude is like the GTI whisperer. And if you saw all that like spaghetti of like, who's ever gonna put this back together? So, although I lost my GTI badge on the back. I don't know if you saw that badge that was on the back of it.
I did not. Can you not get another
No,
GTI
they're like
badge?
unobtainium. I had it, and then I brought it down to the, it's just, I don't know, it's like vanished somewhere. But yeah, that's the day that it came in. And that's when we went to...
How much are you into this GTI?
quite a bit.
How much?
Quite a bit. I'm probably
60?
Yeah, a little less than that. Yeah. It's awesome though. It's awesome though.
Is it?
It's pretty cool.
Is it that awesome?
It's like a very underpowered, very light, early 911. Like it feels solid and it handles great. It just doesn't have any power.
Yeah.
The seats in it are incredibly comfortable.
But they're Recaros probably, right?
Way comfortable. Way more comfortable than the GT3.
Yeah.
Like super comfy. Right now it's back at Bill for two reasons. One, there's an over steering wheel clutch something. I forget the name of it, but like when you push on the clutch, there's this special like spring and plastic piece that makes it recoil. It's
like a helper spring?
Yeah, kind of like that. Or
clutch return spring?
But it was named something else, and it's very, very hard to find. So I have to get it 3D printed. So essentially, the first like probably 2-3 inches of the throw are very limp. So you have to like lift it up with the back of your foot. It's kind of annoying. Yeah, and then the shifter itself is like my old 964 where you can literally just go that kind of thing. So it's at the shop right now getting those two things fixed. But once those are fixed, it's very, very tight for what it is. It's cool. It's
they're
very
cool, fun cars, but that's just like that's
a lot.
That's a huge amount of fucking money and time to put into a GTI, man.
I couldn't help myself.
All right.
And it's 4-door. See, here's the thing. Now I feel like every single car I have besides the Cayenne is 2-door, and it's the most fun thing in the world. Blah blah blah. And I like when you and I just went out for that drive. I'm like, man, if I lived here, I would love to go for just a 35-mile-an-hour drive, beautiful view, arm out the window, just to kind of get it out of the system, come home, and you're good to go. I don't really have that in Connecticut. It's just like not. That's just not what that is, as you know. I mean, you have to go upstate or whatever. And where I am in my life, it's baseball, kids, work, family, the whole thing. So the GTI was like, okay. In my pea brain was going like, okay, if I spend money on this, I can have a GTI for a little while and be able to have a back seat. Yeah. So now I drive back and forth to baseball and whatever, family things. And it's like, yay, I get to drive like a cool car to it.
It's so funny. Like everyone I know who has kids and likes cars, they all go into this thing where all of a sudden they start shitting on sports cars because they don't hold their fucking kids. And I'm just like, I'm so happy that A, I don't have fucking kids, and B, that not everybody is deciding that every car needs to fit fucking kids in it. Because every car that has a back seat is like worse than every car that doesn't have a back seat.
It's true. It's just
a 2+2 is like the shittiest configuration of car.
You either need to go. I think you need to go all one direction or the other to get the best of the best. But as a dad, you want to do the right thing in a car. So that's I was telling you again off air. Like I love the GT3. I think it's the greatest thing ever. It's unbelievable. Why
don't you have a fucking back seat put in it? They do that now.
I know, but even then, I'm thinking about ripping out the interior, dynamatting everything because I mean it is a tin can.
Yeah, add weight. Add weight to the GT3. That'll add value.
Oh,
It'll add like
I'm going deaf
$10 a pound.
driving it right now, and you're like, why don't you change the exhaust? Because I'm like, it sounds so good.
That's
It's
funny. He won't take off his fucking straight pipe, but he's gonna add Dynamat to the thing. He's talking about your douche spec. Now I know why you feel like a douche driving that car. He's like, I don't know, I might sell it. I feel like a douche. Yeah, well, if it's a straight pipe with added weight, yes, that you are a douche.
Dude, I'm telling you, it sounds amazing though when you go through the gears. So it's pick your poison. So I don't know what to do with that.
Put a touring interior in it.
I could, or I could just go back to the Taycan. I regret selling that Taycan, and you of all people now are bought into the Taycan. It's the greatest thing ever.
I got the same car that you
but
had.
If I have the
paid
Cayenne,
half as much.
That's true. That's very true. The Cayenne, I can go out to Long Island and do the jobs out there and not take the Taycan. But for everything else, Taycan is
electric cars are just better.
Yeah.
And your job in Long Island was just 30 miles too far.
It was like 36 miles too far where I had to stop. And if you're going to stop, you might as well stop for 45 minutes. And I'm like, dude, I can't. This is too long.
Yeah.
So I can always use that car. So I'm really thinking about where to find a Taycan.
Taycans are fucking sick.
So if you know where a Taycan Cross Turismo is,
I literally just found mine on the internet and
I'd
bought it
love
CPO
to
from
buy
a dealer.
mine back.
I don't know. You could probably find it if you want it, but you don't want that one. Because if someone knows that you want a specific one, now you're fucked.
Yeah, now they're gonna jack it up.
No, No, you want, and besides, someone's been like fucking. There's been like a Saint Bernard in the back of that thing. It's gonna come back, and you're gonna go. It don't smell right.
No,
it never
and that
does.
seat. I don't know if you ever. Does your seat squeak? My seat had a crazy squeak.
It squeaked a little bit if I get out of it. If I get out the right way, yeah.
I took it in for a recall for the seat.
I've taken mine's going in in 2 weeks. Both of the front window seals have left little bits of residue on the bottom of the windows, and they've had to replace them. I don't know what that's about. It looks almost like the car had tint that was taken off badly, but it never did. So they're like, oh, they replaced that under warranty. Whatever.
Yours looks great. As soon as I saw it when I got here yesterday, I was like, oh man, I really want that car because it's 4-seater. It's great. It's cool. It's fun.
I'll sell it to you for $72,500.
Yeah.
Transferable warranty.
Yeah, that's exactly what I got for my car when I sold it.
No, I'll tell you, I got mine cheap, but what it cost me was color choice, because I decided to get it at, I don't know, the very end of the year. And I only had a couple of days to find it, and
so white wouldn't have been your first choice.
No,
It's not bad. It's not bad, but I don't buy white. I buy colors. Yeah. I like colors, and so I had a lead on a blue. And before I could get back to them, somebody bought it, and then I found a nice chalk, which I don't love chalk, but it was a color. Right.
And someone bought that one too, and so this one I was like, the next one I find, if it I don't give a shit what color it is if it satisfies the rest of it, and then it just in between. I knew about my car the day before, but I didn't want it because it was white, And in between that day and the next day, which was December 30th, they hacked $4K off the price to move it before the end of the year. So it got even cheaper.
It was 60 what?
64.8. And I called the dealer, and the salesman, shout out to Lance, was a fan.
And so he was sold.
Well, at first, I then tried to fucking negotiate further. And he goes, Matt, I know why you called. They're in Detroit. He goes, I know why you called. This is the cheapest one listed on the internet right now. I'm not going to make it any cheaper. Find a cheaper one. And I go, all right, fine. Sold.
Fair point.
And I sent the wire and got on a plane. 8 hours
So
later.
you think the prices of those are going up now?
I think to get the same car I got would cost you a little more money right now because of tariffs, making the new ones more expensive.
Yeah. I looked on while I was on the plane out here. There's only 3 up there right now.
Yeah, there was only
on eBay.
There was only no, I was looking at Auto Tempest, stuff like that, sites that dealers were using, not eBay. I wanted to buy CPO from a dealer, so I literally was national search, keyword certified pre-owned, price lowest to highest, and I
think it's worth taking a look. I think I'll get back into when you go out with your family kind of thing. I'm not taking this off-road,
That's cool,
truck.
But for driving on the road, you want a road car. As it turns out,
yeah.
That's with some people with the fucking Manx were like, Manx, you're taking off-road? It's supposed to be for off-road. I was like, I've now owned like 4 off-road cars, and I've collectively taken all of them off-road 4 or 5 times.
Right.
Between all of them.
Right. And you live out here. You imagine doing that in Connecticut?
Yeah.
Like off-road is just winter. That's off-road.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no, my car's an on-road car. So, all right. Well, I assume you'll have the GTI for like a little while.
Yeah, I'll have it for a little while. It's going
Connecticut.
to the Low Show. I'm getting it.
The what show?
It's called the Low Show. It's like a huge show in Pennsylvania. Potsdam?
That's a place. Potsdam is a place.
Yeah. So the FCP Euro is taking it out there, and then I'm going to go in my GT3 for one day. It's a 4-day event. I'm not going to go for 4 days, but I'll go out there on the last day. But what I did learn and what I think was valuable with the GTI, whether I keep it or not for 20 years or whatever, is working with the VW crowd. It's just a completely different crowd. They're like super, super nerdy and excited.
They are hard.
Yeah,
fucking
and they're
core, man.
and they're generous and it was cool to get into that community. And that car is like shoehorning me into that community. So I was pretty stoked about that. So
yeah,
cool guys.
That's cool. Yeah, no, I mean, our friend Brian Scotto is super into Volkswagens, and they are like, they kind of have a little bit of a sense of humor.
Yeah, I think what I was talking to you before about like feeling a little weird about driving the GT3, I think it's the most amazing thing in the world. I do feel a little guilty driving it. I think the point I was trying to make is when I drive the Model T, it's just like, it's so inexpensive.
The Model T is the best. Wait,
it's the best.
Of it here somewhere.
Yeah. It's probably pretty deep.
No, it wasn't that deep. I saw it. It was somewhere. Keep going.
So when I drive the Model T, there it is. That's coming out in Petrolicious. That's the Petrolicious shoot in the next couple of weeks. It's just, I laugh the entire time. Every single person I go by gives a wave, a thumbs up, or like, that's the coolest thing in the world. So that's always nice and wonderful. As opposed to like, when you're driving a GT3, you get like, oh yeah, that's cool and that's great. But I sometimes I feel awkward driving it. Because
well, look, because a car that requires some
you can't just drive that.
Personal sacrifice, right? It's got no roof. It's slow. You have to
know how to drive it.
You have to know what to do.
Yeah, it's really difficult.
A supercar, whether it's a Porsche or any other supercar, it's just
like
money.
A check and a key.
It's just money.
Yeah, this one here, like you can be the world's greatest driver, but if you don't know what you're doing in Model T, you're going to die at 30 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And so there's something to that. So the point I'm trying to make is, I guess the bumper sticker was saying would be like, smiles per hour or whatever. I just think for a couple $1,000 that I spent, and the fact that I kept it from getting crushed, and it's a piece of history, and it's original as most of most of it's original. It's just a cool piece that I can go and show people and go in parades and whatever. And then sometimes when I look at like the value of the GT3, which is amazing, and I think it's the most amazing, it's a ridiculous car. It's so fun. I just don't know if that ratio, that indefinable ratio of miles per hour is equivalent to the ratio of this car or the GTI or...
Sure. Well, because, I mean, look...
Like if you spend $1 million on a car, is that really going to make you that smile and that happy?
No,
versus like, okay.
Certainly not if you're driving on the fucking road.
That's
like
what
you can't... The road has been the same since
they actually made roads
children.
For that one. That's why that's so cool. The roads didn't exist for that car.
Those are... Model Ts are... the move is to try one off-road. Model Ts are amazing.
The suspension distance in that is absurd.
Yeah.
Like
our friend John Bothwell drove one with us 1,000 miles when we did All Cars Go to Heaven 2. I was in a Previa, and Tom and Zach were in a Hyundai Accent, and our friend John was in a fucking 1921 Model T. And we all collectively did 1,000 miles off-road in those cars.
It's amazing.
The Model T was amazing off-road.
It's super comfy.
Yeah.
And so I have new heads coming in. I got to get the headlights finished. Like if you drive that in dark, I literally take my iPhone out. It's terrible. And a couple little things. I'm upgrading the brakes, just like safety things, because I bring the kids in it. But
yeah, drum brakes. You need
drum brakes.
You need drum brakes.
A new head gets you 11 horsepower, which doubles the horsepower.
Yeah.
Because when you have like 4 or 5 people in there, and you go up a hill, you legitimately like it's struggling. So the point I was trying to make.
You could do a 2-speed transfer case, 3-speed transfer case.
I think I'm just going to leave it the way it is. I think she's fine.
You know what? I drove a Model T that had a gas pedal mod.
Really?
Period. Yeah. So I drove for my friend John after that road trip, and when he did the Model T, he really learned a lot. He's a Model T enthusiast, and he has like 5 or 6 of them. And he built, he bought a Model T Speedster race car.
Right.
which had the gas pedal mod and drove much more like a regular car.
Did they have to cut a hole in the floorboard?
Well, this had a completely different body. Like, let me see if I can actually find it.
So you can put a gas pedal in this car if you retrofit it?
There is a mod for gas pedal in that car, yes.
And does it just go over where the clutch would be? Because there's 3 pedals down there, but most people, it's a clutch, a reverse, and a brake. There's no gas pedal there.
Yeah, wait, hang on. So the Speedster, oh, you gotta be kidding me. I have to log in for this fucking thing. No, you can see it, it's like blurry, but you see this is like a Speedster body.
Yeah.
You could turn, using period parts, you could turn a Model T into like a race car that looked like a Mercer Raceabout and shit and had like pedals. Now, I don't know if you could put the pedals on your body or if you'd have to do a thing, but I did drive this one that was technically a Model T, but had like more regular pedals. Like the high-low pedal was still the high-low pedal. The middle pedal was drum brakes and the right pedal was gas.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. On mine, it's completely opposite. The left side is if you push the clutch in first, that'll have you moving.
Yeah.
If you go to second gear, you have to lift off the clutch like a normal car would be, and the car goes on its own.
Then it's in high.
It's in high, and it just go. You can put
and you're just throttling.
You're just throttling, and like
it's like cruise control, pretty much.
Correct.
Yeah.
And if you want to come back down when you want to brake, you pull the lever from second and push it into first.
Yeah.
Then you put your foot on the clutch to modulate how fast you're going left or right.
And then in between, halfway between low and high is true neutral, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. So yours is just normal Model T.
Normal Model T.
So John's other Model T that he has is the Super T, which has every period available off-roading mod that you could get from catalogs. So
like JCPenney or whatever it was.
Yeah, you could order these. He has these huge catalogs.
Or J.C. Whitney.
Yeah, of like parts for the Model T. So he has like different head, like a water pump, a different like steel wheels, better brakes, 2-speed transfer case.
They still have all that stuff.
And that shit is a beast off-road. It's fabulous.
And you know it costs nothing.
Yeah.
Like to do the carburetor, there was one part that was $7.65. That was like the whole thing that made it run. He's like, oh, it's gonna be like $765. I'm like $765. All right, fine. He's like $7.65. It'll be here tomorrow. It's like mailed in. So we're gonna do that just to make it safe. But again, the overall point I was trying to make is I really like focusing on trying to find that sweet spot car that hits both the value and makes you smile, and that kind of reset everything. So let's take an example, like a Vantage. I think a Vantage right now is like an undervalued, fun car. I can't speak 100%. You could more about like the service and the maintenance of it, but you can get you get in the game with a Vantage.
40,000, 50,000 gets you a nice one.
Get some nice rims on it, maybe lower a little bit. You know, you can do your little touches and feel like it's yours, and like you're in the game with like an amazing car.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And I appreciate that. I feel like I'm starting to appreciate that more with my, lifestyle and my, family and the whole thing versus just like, here's a check and this is the most ridiculous car in the world. That part I'm trying to like, I'm mentally going through as like a dad and like a car guy or whatever.
I'm lucky that I get press cars because it scratches that itch and I have no desire to get into the new supercar game at all.
I can understand this because I felt like that was like the dream car. Like I'm big on vision boards and whatever. And actually on my vision board, by the way, was Velocity on the Discovery Channel. That's how old that vision board was. And right next to it was a GT3. So I got to check both of those off this year. So that's a big accomplishment. So I'm super stoked. I don't want to be like, oh, he's like not happy about the GT3. The car is phenomenal. It's just like now I'm going like, okay, what's the best use of that? Because I'm thinking if I sell that car, I can take that money and put it towards youth baseball and like all these other things that I never thought would be like more meaningful to me than walking in my garage, which is very meaningful to me. And looking at the car and being like, whoa, like I did like 1,000 details for that car.
Sure.
So that's what I'm.
I mean, look,
figuring out.
The achievement is more important than the driving experience.
Correct.
You're not going to track days with it.
I am not. And then there's this
which
other
is
part.
ironic because you used to go to track days all the time
I
in
used
your
to do 15
964.
track days events, and that was a 3-day event.
Yeah.
15 times 3 per year. But again, that was before a baby, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And so whatever. And then maybe you do that when you get older, when they're in college and so on and so forth. But that's something I'm definitely thinking about. Plus, the other added thing is the GT3. You can't I mean, it's fun to drive around slow, but that car just wants to be like ripped.
It's not that GT3s aren't that fun to drive slow.
I don't
like them at all.
And I have carbon bucket seats, and I'm a giant.
That's not fun.
I made pillows for the back of it. So the point I'm making is like, you really got to be. You have to have a lot of self-control because you rip through those gears.
You should probably get a Carrera T with comfort seats and a back seat.
Yeah.
And pocket the difference. Seriously, get a fucking Carrera T allocation. That's a road car with a back seat.
Yeah.
And it's half the fucking price. You know what your dealer would fucking kill to get your GT3 back on trade.
It's so nice
for a Carrera T.
It's so clean. It's so beautiful.
And I just drove this one that was the 700 horsepower, like 3 parts, and it makes 700 horsepower. But the rest of the time it drives totally normally.
That might be a way.
Back seat.
Right now I'm thinking Taycan right now.
Well, that's fine too.
I blew it on that one, but
yeah, you should have kept that one. You didn't know what you had.
I didn't know what I had.
No.
I thought for sure like the whole market was going to tank. And this guy, my buddy Dominic, who has all those crazy cars, Ferraris and stuff, he's in every episode. Anyways, he told me this thing I never heard before. He's like, "Do you want to catch a falling knife up here, or do you want to catch a falling knife down here?" And I was like, never. And he was saying with the prices of the Taycan, this was before. When I sold it a year and a half ago or whatever it was. And I was like, I guess I'll just catch it up here, meaning I'm gonna get bloody either way.
Yeah.
This one's gonna go through my hand. And so I took the hit. I got it for 111 and I sold it for 74. I was like, whoa, that's the first time I ever lost on a car.
Okay, so that's 36,000, right?
Yeah.
74 to 111.
Yeah.
Okay, so for me to lose that much, I would have to sell for. You win if I can't get 28 grand.
I'm not going to play that game. Like, I'll lose immediately. Who's not going to spend?
I don't know.
28 grand for your car? Are you crazy?
I mean, look.
With the wheels?
It's a very nice car, but I still believe the floor of an EV is zero.
You do think so?
The eventual floor.
How about this? I'll give you $28,000 right now for your car, all right? With the wheels.
The eventual floor. But if you go on, Cars and Bids, whatever, 2012 Tesla Model S's and shit are still like 20 grand. So if the car works, then you could still probably get 20 grand for it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not going to keep the car past my warranty, so I don't give a shit.
How long is that?
4 years.
You're going to really get rid of it after the warranty? Yeah.
I won't. I almost certainly won't keep it that long. I'll get tired. I'll get bored of it.
And that's
probably
CPO
after.
warranty?
Yeah. I'll probably get bored of it by year 3.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I just will. I know me.
There's
no fucking way I'm going 4 years on one daily driver.
This is really just an itis that every car guy has. It's like as soon as you get it, like the excitement of building the GTI and the whatever and drive, and it's really exciting, and I'll keep it for a while. But is it a 964? Nothing is the 964. The 964 will stay there. Like that's more meaningful. Like I'm sleeping in the back of a car and I built this one, so it's like, you know what? I'm going to keep this car. But everything else, when it comes to, family and kids, whatever, like I'll get rid of it. But the 964 I bought for 19 grand. You remember that?
That's crazy.
Yeah. So
remember the red one, Connor's brother's car that.
Oh my God! I can't believe you remember that. I got to drive that to the what's the place in Rye, the ice cream store.
Oh, Longford's.
Longford. So I got to drive it to Longford.
The hottest girls always worked at Longford's ice cream.
Why do you think I parked the car there? Because all the guys would go see the girls.
Yeah.
And Connor's brother's like, listen, I'll give it to you for the summer. You clean it, do the blah, 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 and then go drive it to Longford's, park it out in front. And I was like totally faking it. Like, yeah, check out this car. And it's for sale. I had a big for sale sign on it. That's what got me crazy about 964s.
But that was a nice car.
Oh, sweet.
Guards red, 5-speed.
I'm pretty sure it was a Targa. Was it a Targa?
No, I think it was a sunroof coupe.
Was it?
I think it was a sunroof coupe, but I remember it was like 40,000 miles.
Yeah.
And you were trying to get like 26 grand for
crazy,
it in like 05, 06.
Yeah.
And maybe it was earlier, 04 maybe, but you couldn't get it. Like it was like you couldn't. It was clean.
Singer wasn't around then, man.
Yeah. Well, the car was only like 10 years old.
Yeah.
It was like a 94.
I remember just being like, wow, this is the greatest car ever.
It was nice.
Yeah.
It was nice. Yeah, parked that shit in front of Longford's.
I can't
Shout out
believe
to Kelly, wherever you are. You were the queen of Longford's.
I can't believe you brought that up. I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, that red car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder what Connor's doing right now.
I don't know. Shout out to him.
Yeah. His dad was was the Today Show host, wasn't he?
What?
Hartman, yeah. His dad, Connor Hartman's dad, was like a host like Matt Lauer in like the 70s.
Oh, okay, cool, yeah. Well, no, I mean, so we actually did go to school with some people who had good parents. It wasn't only the people who wrecked the economy in 2008 and or like spread propaganda.
He was way retired by then.
Fascism. Let's see, we've got Oxycontin, we've got crashing the economy, and we've got pro-fascism propaganda. Cool.
Rye Country Day.
Rye Country Day School. Let's fucking go. Lot of questions from the old Patreon today. Let's get to some of them. Of course, if you want to ask questions of our guests, if you want to get the show ad-free, if you want to get the live stream normally, if you want to get the show before everybody else, patreon.com/thesmokingtire
Support the
podcast.
Smoking Tire and all your fellow creators.
Plus, you get to directly support the Smoking Tire in an environment where ad sales suck.
Yeah, it is a different world out there now. I can tell you that.
Yeah, Patreon has surpassed for us. Surpassed ad sales each month.
Oh, congratulations!
Yeah,
that's a big deal.
So that's good. Yeah,
well, it's just like taking control of your future. As opposed to being like,
direct.
Hey, YouTube, are you gonna like give us $300 for this 5-week long episode that costs?
I mean, there's probably an oligarch behind Patreon also, but let's enjoy it while it lasts. Okay, I haven't looked into that one. Okay, Jake Shores says, what is up with rinseless wash? I have friends saying I should try it, but I don't trust not having proper lubrication on the paint. What is your take, Larry?
Okay, so in the shortest time possible, so rinseless wash is a substitute. I should say it another way, is a not qualified substitute for washing your car properly. It is the alternative when you don't have water. So it's, in the absence of water, rinseless wash. I created a thing called Frothy, which has a lot more lubrication than a rinseless wash, but it's the same concept. It's in the same genre. So the point I'm trying to make is when you wash your car properly or need to wash your car properly, you got to do that with soap and water and lubrication to carry the things away. When you have a rinseless situation, frothy, rinseless, whatever, you're using that and multiple towels to act as the thing that removes the tiny rocks, i.e. dirt from your car, from your surface of your paint. And so the act of two of them, this one has water flushing it away, which is like a wonderful lubricant. Yeah. And this one has lubrication installed in not that much liquid, and you're using the wiping motion. So out of the two of them, the proper wash is going to be safer for your paint. Having said that, because in reality, most people don't have access to water. They live you get what I'm saying? Live in California, live in wherever. That's the second best alternative to washing your car. So yes, rinseless is good. But there is a point of no return where the car is so dirty, like Jay's car that we just saw. Yeah. Like you wouldn't want to rinseless wash that thing.
He said, Larry saw Jay Ryan's car. He's like, what the fuck is this, bro?
I was like,
he's like, what is this?
He said he's going to drive across the country, going to shoot a video and clean the car. I was like, I can't stand next to this car.
You have to make sure when you clean it, you power washes off. He has a smoke tire sticker on the right, and they get like gravel blasted. Right. So you have to make sure to reapply those when you wash Jay Ryan's car.
So yeah, they're good. Just use them in certain situations. Next.
Okay, Bimobile says, just bought an old Mazda RX-8 with 30,000 miles, but the roof rails are a little rusty and the front bumper is faded in the sun. Apart from replacing parts or repainting, what can I do to prolong the life of these parts? Rusting there's not a lot of options there.
Rusting is sort of like holding the hand while they die. Like you either got to fix it or just hold its hand you're going to delay the inevitable kind of thing. So you can polish, especially on red ones, you can polish that front bumper out. I bet you it'll come out pretty nice. Bumpers are a little bit more fickle than, let's say, paint because they don't transfer heat as well. Mm-hmm. If you heat up the side of something that's metal, you're going to feel it on the other side. If you heat up something that's plastic, you're not going to feel it. Yeah. So the transfer doesn't happen. So when you put heat on it, meaning rotation, and you're fixing things, it has a chance to heat up faster, and then basically the paint literally goes just disintegrate. It burns. So the point is you have to be a little bit more careful on plastic. In terms of the roof rails, you got to just throw some touch up in there because you have to do that properly. Yeah, that's no bueno.
Yeah, rust is not an easy. You
sand it down and
fix
put touch
rust
up.
Or you don't fix.
That's
rust.
my point. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I am Dr. Remulak. Give me a go no go on PPF. They've heard different opinions from different detailers. Depends on the car.
I'm a huge advocate of it.
I like it.
I say
Unless you
this.
have fragile paint that's going to fuck it up somehow by putting it on. Like my Countach.
Well, you could even do that. You just have to do it right. But yeah, that Countach, I would tell you no.
I wouldn't put it on that.
No, I
you
wouldn't
did tell me no.
Yeah. So that's probably the rare. Very rarely do I say not to put PPF on. That would be the one.
Original paint on an Italian car from the 80s.
No, you're gonna peel that right off.
Yeah.
When you take it off. So I would say PPF very pro, and I'll give you this anecdote. If we could figure out how to put PPF on that didn't cost so much and take so much time and the labor and the weeks and the drying and the issues, it would put detailers out of business, like real detailers and real polish and paint experts. I'm being a little bit broad there, but I'm making the point that
if
it's
you
so
PPF
good.
a car, you don't then ever need a detailer again.
I wouldn't go that far. I'm just saying you don't experience the same amount of degradation to the paint, obviously, that you would without it, which would require someone with the skills to polish that out, to then polish that out. So you really take a big bite out of the detailing market. But right now it's too expensive and it takes too long to put on. If you could have a sprayable version, I don't know. Do you remember that 3M version?
Yeah.
They made a 3M sprayable. It was awful.
Yeah.
It was so awful. Like
A for effort, but did not work.
The concept was there.
Yeah.
And so now what I think is going to happen is I think OEMs are going to figure out how to do that
from factory.
Right now they're putting coatings and things in there and making it much thinner and much harder than paints in the past. And the reason why is it doesn't have to stay in the paint booth. It doesn't have to stay in the heat booth as long, because the heat booth is where they spend a ton of money. So if they can cut down 10 minutes, 2 days, whatever, they can save millions of dollars a year by having that car go through. Now, most people think when you go to a body shop, hey, I can heat it up the same thing. But when you go to a body shop and the curing time, you need 90 days to cure. The reason is there's electronics in the car when you go to a body shop. So you can't heat it up to 5,000 degrees. I'm making that number up, to 300 degrees or whatever, because everything's going to melt. But when it's in the factory, you see it dip into the bath, and it comes back out, you can heat it up like crazy. So that's what makes it so that you can make the paint even thinner. So they save money on the paint and they save money on it being harder. So that's where it's going now. So I was like, if they're going to do that, imagine they can, making this up, I'm not an engineer, but like spray on whatever PPF there.
And it heat it, and it gets like uniform and shiny.
Now it's around around the edges. Like you don't need to sit there and like
almost like undercoating on the chassis would be, but PPF.
Clear.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, Larry, that's clear coat. I'm like, yes, I'm getting it. I get what you're saying, but like imagine like a clear thing that you could then peel off.
How very like tech bro of you. You've circled back around to inventing clear coat.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Let me say this: by being able to peel it off and then restart again, that would be dope.
If you get like a tear offs first, kind of
like that kind of. I haven't quite thought it all through.
If you buy a very high end car, it might come from the factory as an option.
Oh, to put a PPF on? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. But yeah. Pro PPF.
Travis Pastrana's primary care provider says, I live in Arizona and I'm very concerned about damage to my clear coat from the sun. I have a Fine ceramic coating that supposedly...
Fine Labs.
What is it?
Fine Labs.
Sorry. That supposedly lasts 4 years. When I asked if I can or should put additional waxes or sprays to help with UV protection, I was advised by them not to put any product over the coating. Do you agree? If not, what should I do?
All right, so here's what's happening. Also, great products, great company, everything's cool. This has nothing to do with them. I'm just saying, in general, the school of thought is if you have some type of coating on your car and it has a characteristic that you enjoy, that you like the beading or the sheeting or whatever it is that you want. If you then put something on top of it, logically speaking, it's not going to have the same characteristics of the thing that you had underneath it. So that's kind of the logic as to why. The second logic is we want you to put our stuff on top of it or clean it with our stuff, which again, that's just like any other company, soaps and things. You want to use the same shaver and the same whatever. It's just to keep you in their brand.
In their ecosystem.
Totally makes sense. I, on the other hand, think, hey, the more protection you have built up, yes, you're going to minimize the underlying characteristics of like the super beading or whatever it is that you like. But if you're putting something on top of it like wax, I think of it as a sacrificial layer that I know is going to get worn away. And I know that it has this, for me, even my coating, I love the coating. I think it looks amazing. But if I'm going to a show and I'm looking for that extra like 2 or 3%, I'm putting Carnauba wax on top of my car. It's a throwaway. So I think of it like a suit, a tuxedo. You put the tuxedo on because you're going out, right? And it looks fantastic. That's the coating. It's the James Bond. You're fantastic. But if you want to add the boutonniere with the flower, you put that in there. That's the wax.
Okay.
But you know that dies at the end of the night.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
It's not going to last forever, but your suit's still good. That kind of mentality, that's what I lean towards, if that makes sense.
But it doesn't add that much extra protection from the sun.
No, it will. It just won't last
just
that
won't
long.
last.
And it's
Okay.
like, it's kind of a throwaway.
Got it. Okay. Jews control the weather tech, which is a very funny name. We encourage.
Horrible names.
No, well, yes, but also contractions like weather tech, like floor mats.
Got it. I'm not. Is the guy who owns that? Is he Jewish?
We don't think so, but we also don't think that Jews control the weather. We just think that those words go together in a funny way.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. I don't.
Clever,
hang on.
offensive nature.
I literally don't want to Google is David McNeil Jewish because I don't like what will happen to my search engine after that. You know, it might be like. Yes, and also I know what to do about that, says Grok. You know what I mean? Like
I was supposed to have a meeting with him at SEMA.
with Grok?
No, I don't even know who that is. But
that's Elon Musk's very racist AI bot from Twitter.
Oh, I don't even know who that is.
Yeah.
The guy that owns McNeil.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
They
I was walking to the meeting.
They own a lot of things, one might say,
Yeah.
like some group of people that I know.
Oh no, yeah.
No.
I was walking to the meeting and then got a buzz and said like, he is busy now. And can I? Was like,
He will no longer
Yeah, exactly.
see you.
Yeah.
Okay. I am Jack's insatiable need for one more car. Says, of all the disaster details you've brought back, what was the most satisfying and or what story meant the most?
That is a difficult one. I think the one on the show was pretty good. I'm not just giving a shameless plug because that one I kept driving. There's a baseball field in New Canaan, and we had to take this road every single day forever and ever and ever. And there's always this Discovery 2 sitting there, and it was literally buried in the ground. I pulled in, knocked on the door. I could see that there was a younger woman taking care of an older lady in the back. And I explained the situation. I was like, hey, I want to do this on a show, and she wanted nothing to do with it. And so I gave her my card, and then her sister called me a couple weeks later or whatever, and explained the situation that, she was taking care of this car. This was her dream car. And so I did it all, fixed it up, gave it back to her, and the woman started like bawling and crying. Now we've done dozens of those. We did the one with the 96-year-old man. Did you see that one with the Charger?
Yeah.
He was such a gentleman. It's like a different, I talk about it in the episode, it's like a different generation where after we moved the car out, and it's been sitting there for 26 years or whatever it was, we moved the car out, and we're trying to get this thing running, and he was selling it to some other guy. The dude started sweeping like the very little bit of dust that was in there. He's like, oh no, we got to like clean it up. Because I was like, you rented this thing for 20 years or whatever. Like, he doesn't really owe anybody anything and went through the war or whatever, but it's just like a different generation. So to be able to do that and then finish it and then put him in the car and go for a drive, like even if you're like Mr. Cool and you're like, you're so awesome on YouTube, like even a moment, like you kind of look off camera and like, I'm okay, like everything's fine. You know what I mean? Because it's kind of to see him look at it. So I've done a dozen of those, but I'd say those two cars are pretty special for those folks.
Mr. Hogan's Thermos says, I remember years ago on the podcast, Larry was skeptical about ceramic coating because it hadn't been around long enough.
Right.
Well, now it's been long. Do you still feel that way?
No, I want to be very clear. It wasn't that when it comes to ceramic coating, the issue that I had then and still to this day have, but I think it's come more in line, was the claims that were made were so outrageous that I thought and still think if we make outrageous claims that it's going to hurt the industry overall, because people will think that if I put this magic juice on my car, I don't have to do anything. And the analogy I've done ad nauseum is if you go to the gym once a year and work out like crazy, you're going to be healthy. And that's not true. We all know that. Or eat one healthy meal. You have to have a regimen. You have to have a way of doing things. Does the coating help? No question. Absolutely. But the way it was sold in the beginning when he's mentioning that was, it was like, you put it on your car,
and then you don't
never
have to
do anything again.
else.
And
Yeah.
I was like, guys, that just doesn't make any sense. And when that ultimately fails, because what happens is you can put the best coating on. You can put Reflex Pro, you can put whatever you think is great on there. If you get it dirty, meaning you just sit it outside and go underneath the where the planes go or whatever, like, and all this contamination goes on it. As I mentioned before with the wax, and can you put stuff on top of the coating? If you have something on top of the coating that's dirt, dust, or whatever, because it just doesn't just fly out. Like, coatings don't make dust and dirt not exist. And when it goes on top of the car, it will change the characteristics to whatever it is on top of it. And if it's dust, it's not going to bead because the beading is not going to happen because the dust is there. And they go, it's not on there. This is garbage. And I'm like, it's because it's the top layer. Once you spray that off and you clean it, you're good to go. But in the beginning, when you tell people and they don't have that learning curve,
do anything.
And then they look at it and it's garbage, it's like, we're going to be looked at as snake oil salesmen. It's going to hurt the industry as a whole. So back then, I was very cautious. And the reason why is because, you remember with the guy Dan, I was working, blah, blah, blah. I was doing all these cars, like hundreds of cars a month, putting on the coatings. And I saw the behind the scenes before coatings were ever coatings. I'm like, man, when this hits the market, if they try to oversell this thing's going to be $1 billion industry, but we got to be super careful about how we pitch it. It's like a, like a weight loss drug or like a whatever, you got to be real clear about that. So I was a little touchy because everybody came out like, my thing will last 10 years. I mean, how could it possibly last 10 years? Doesn't even make any sense.
How do you even know that?
Well, here's another thing. If you have it last a 10-year coating, PPF doesn't last for like they only warranty it for 5 years or 7 years, whatever one you're getting. You're gonna outlast something that's this thick that I can literally
and made of rubber.
I can chew on it, and yours is like it doesn't. It's just not logical. So I was like, just be careful. So no, I'm not down on coatings, but be smart about it.
Gray Hatchback says, I have an old Civic with very chalky paint. Ooh. Can it be saved?
Oh yeah, absolutely. The chalky paint is just the oxidation. So at some point, the paint, the clear coat or the single stage is fighting the sun. And eventually it just gets overwhelmed and the oxidation occurs and it dries out. The best part about chalky paint, like especially a red one, like an old S10 or something, when I see chalky paint, I'm like, ugh, because it's acting as a jacket. So whatever's underneath it is like pristine. And your job is just to razor blade, metaphorically, razor blade that top surface off without going too deep. And you literally get yourself a brand new car. It's almost like protection on top of it.
Lucky you with the chalky paint.
Yes, you just got to do it.
Christian Glazed Ham says, although I like the effectiveness of Rain-X, are there other perhaps better products of the same type?
So that's a loaded question, but if he means like a spray-on or like a wipe-on.
Like the thing that makes water drops go up the windshield?
Let's assume he's talking about the one that you squirt out of the little bottle, not the actual spray. What's interesting is pound for pound, like we were mentioning before with the Model T versus the GT3 or whatever, pound for pound, Rain-X is hard to beat. The downside to some people is it'll sometimes make your windshield wipers chatter. But pound for pound is pretty good because it doesn't cost anything. Yeah. But there are coatings that go on that are really, really good. They just take a little bit more time to put on, but those sometimes cause chatters as well. Like if you were just in a pinch.
The chatter. I haven't used Rain-X in a long time because it doesn't fucking rain here, so why am I bother? But now I remember the chatter. Yeah. That sucks.
Yeah, and that it usually has to do with coatings, but I mean, you kind of can't compete with it. It's good. I would say Rain-X is totally fine if you want a longer term protection. But the longer term protection, it's like, dude, wash your car and do it. Like it takes like 10 minutes to do. Yeah. So.
Hoffmeister Nipple Clamps says 996 convertible top. I want to protect it. Scotch guard, something else? What should I do? It's in good condition now, but I want to keep it that way.
Yes, there's 1,000 options for that. 303 Aerospace. When they use the word Scotch guard, it's like saying Teflon. It's just it's the name. So yes, anything that is hydrophobic is going to work perfectly fine as long as it's clean. Spray it on there and read the directions. Each one is a little bit different as to how long you let it sit. Do you scrub it in? Do you not scrub it in? Can you not get it wet? And so on and so forth. But it's not as complicated. Also read on there.
Tape off the glass.
Thank you. I was just going to say you have to make sure you tape off the things. Some of them are no bueno on the paint.
Yeah, dude. The paint or glass, my shit might stain like forever.
Yeah. Well, on the glass, it's not a big deal because you need to razor blade it. But it's like just put tape on it and don't get too crazy with it.
Yeah. This is a watch question. Hazeman says, my Canyon, which is, he has one of my watches, was running +4 within spec. Then I didn't wear it for a week. Now it's running +21. What's gone wrong? That is out of spec, obviously.
What is +20? What does that mean?
21 seconds a day it's gaining.
How do you know?
Because you can put a watch on a what's called a time grapher. It's a very, very affordable tool that can check your mechanical watches within 60 seconds or so.
It doesn't have to do with, listen, I'm a rookie at this, but it doesn't have to do with how much you wind it?
Well,
like if you wound it 100 times versus 20 times?
Well, possibly. So I would say this: if you didn't wear it for a week and you didn't fully wind it,
What's the definition of, is that 60 turns?
it's like 50, 60 turns on a Canyon.
Okay.
Because it's a long power reserve. So 50, 60 turns is a full wind on a Canyon.
And what does that normally equal? Like a week's worth
That's
of?
68 hours of power reserve, or if you're wearing it every day, indefinitely.
Got it.
But if you only wind it halfway and then start wearing it, it might not run right. So if Hazeman didn't wind it fully, it might not run correctly.
And does that have the same guts as this one?
Yes.
Okay.
So if you just picked it up and did the shake method, like for instance, this watch, this vintage Seiko I'm wearing, does not have a winding crown. So it sits in the safe for a month, dead. To start it up, I literally put it on and do this and shake my wrist like this to get it going with the winding rotor.
Well, how do you get the time right then?
I set the time and then start shaking my wrist for 30 seconds and it starts to go.
Wow.
I can't get it to like the second. I just can't. So anyway, I do. So I'm like off mic over here so yeah, that's what I have to do with this watch. But the other thing is it could have gotten magnetized if you put it next to a magnet, any kind of magnet. And so you might have to buy a demagnetizer, which is a very cheap tool that you can buy on eBay or wherever, Amazon even.
I need to learn about all these things.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's if you have a lot of mechanical watches. Hang on. I'm not going to plug fucking Bezos, but just to show you how.
Is it Bezos or Bezos?
I don't give a fuck. I don't owe him a correct pronunciation. Demagnetizer watch repair. We're talking about like what looks like the same product is like $30.
40
bucks. Yeah. So you could get a demagnetizer.
So you just lay the watch on that?
Yeah, pretty much, and that'll kind of reset the spring if it got messed up.
I'd never heard of that in my life.
Yeah, it's like if you have a lot of watches, the $40 is you'll use it once or twice,
or just take magnets out of your pocket.
You could, yeah. I mean, but if it's a Canyon, if it's one of the more recent ones, it'll still be under warranty, and you can always call Nodus and send it back. I'm sorry that's happening though. Okay, wait. More about touchless. Okay. Carrie Losilla says, how do I practice using a rotary polisher aside from practicing on junkyard hoods?
Was that Carrie Losilla? Is that what I think it's supposed to be?
Someone's username making fun of you.
Oh, got it.
Yeah. Oh. How do I practice a rotary polisher aside from practicing on junkyard hoods?
You can practice on anything you want. You got to be okay with the consequences. Yeah. Practice on your car. I don't know, whatever.
But I mean, yeah, like you have to practice on something. Junkyard hoods is a great place to practice.
I don't know why you'd want to do anything else.
Yeah.
I mean, it's sort of like saying I want to be a doctor, but I'm not going to work on cadavers. It's like, who's going to step up and let you like start carving them up?
Yeah,
without
you got to do it.
Yeah. And so, first of all, let's back up a second. Like, why do you need to use a rotary? So if you're using a rotary, to me, 9 times out of 10, I'm using it on gel coat, like your car, because it's just so thick or so heavy or so much oxidation or whatever, and usually that is the side of a boat. Nowadays, large throw machines with particular pads and amazing compounds everywhere, I just don't see the need of using a rotary anymore for 99.99. I'm not saying throw your rotary away. I'm just saying, when I break out a rotary, like, we're getting down.
It's for a very specific task.
We're getting down. Like something is going on. Like we need to like really kind of grind through stuff, or maybe we sanded the car and we're just getting lazy. And we're like, you know what? I don't want to go from 1,000 to 2,000 to 3,000 to 4,000. I'm like at 1,000. I'm like, this is a rotary. We're just trying to get this car out of here, kind of thing, or whatever. So I would think about that, but junkyard is like the prime place.
That's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
Misfit Cyclone. I'm looking to bring back the shine to my Cyclone. The paint is dull, but also. Anything for the plastic urethane cladding. That's the more important one. It's a single stage paint job.
I have a lot of, so this is a little bit of an answer here. So I've done a bunch of these. That paint is an absolute nightmare. It is incredibly thin, very, very fickle, and very hard to polish out perfectly. So I can polish out the scratches is what I mean. But I mean to finish or refine or jewel the paint, it's very difficult. And so for this particular person, this is a weird technique. A lot of times what I'll use is spraying water, or I'll use a bottle like a Gatorade bottle, and I'll put some water in and then squirt in a lot of either like exfoliate, which has a lot of emulsions in it, and then use that. And the reason I'm being vague here is because every single car is different, but the idea is you want to really have a super clean pad. You want to blow out your pad a whole lot. You're going to use very small side-to-side motions. You're going to have to use a lot of the Kevin mow-down technique kind of thing, which I've gone over 1,000 times in the video, but he's going to have to call me if he gets into that, because you can't screw that up, and you have to find it quickly because the paint is so thin, you don't get a lot of chances to figure out what you're doing.
Wow.
So that one's, and then in terms of the trim, those... I just like to use a dressing on it. And they're like, what? Why would you do that? That's like not a no-no, but when I use something like a Frame Pro or something that's much more long-term, when you do that on that flat surface, it can become very tricky to lay it down perfectly flat. You want to have a very bumpy surface, like the cladding on the original cladding on the Cross Turismo.
Yeah.
Perfect. It's like you see how like rough,
it like grips it up.
Like if your nails are going across it.
Yeah.
This particular one on the Cyclone is very smooth. It's just like black and smooth. If you do it on that, it's not going to look good. So I use a dressing because it's more forgiving. That's a difficult. That dude's got his hands full.
BMW 420 High says, what should I look for when buying a steam cleaner for interior detailing?
All right, so I mean this all sincerity. My steam cleaner is phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. The other thing is a workhorse. What do you look for? I mean, there's 1,000 things that you're looking for on that one, but a good warranty, because things go wrong on those quickly. I've gone through 1,000 different versions. It's a shameless plug, but I sincerely mean it. The one that we have, I absolutely knocked the crap out of that thing. Literally, we're cleaning poop all day long on that. Phenomenal machine. All right. So check that one out. That's a shameless plug, but yeah, it's the truth.
I just got a steam cleaner for my carpets at home for my like pet messes, and it's like fucking sick.
You're increasing the heat, which is opening up the fibers. You're not increasing the amount of water. People think, you got to put a lot of water down. When you put water down, whatever that mess, let's say a cat throws up, it just makes it thinner, and it goes wider. So with the steam, you open up the fibers, and then if you can immediately vacuum, that's why that steam vac that I have is insane. It does. It's like going to the dry cleaners. Yeah, it's great.
That's where I have to take my top eventually. All right, one last one, and then we're done. And it's a lot of words, so try to follow along. Okay, this is a very specific detailing question from a professional detailer.
Oh boy.
Okay, I paint corrected an old '89 Chevy 1500 for my best friend's wedding. It was two-tone red and black. The correction went smoothly. Mild polish and mild pad got 95% of what we wanted out of it. The problem came when we went to prep it for coating. We used a 50/50 ISA distilled water wipe ISO
isopropyl alcohol.
ISO/distilled water wipe down, and instantly caused the black paint to haze over and oxidize, completely undoing what we just spent 4 days doing. We ended up having to use Rupees Uno to get around having to wipe it down first, and it turned out great, but I've never had paint react this way. Is the culprit old GM paint, or is this literally what we were just talking about with the Cyclone? Is this something I'm not thinking of? The pads and compound were brand new. The pre-correction prep was done properly, and we even tried further diluting the liquid, and no effect.
Yeah, there's a lot going on here. I mean, there's 50 things that could be going wrong, but the first thing that I was thinking about is when he was doing the ISO, was the temperature, what's the temperature of the paint? Because that could really flash quick and shock the paint. The second thing could be, I don't know what polish he was using. Maybe it was more of a glazy kind of thing, where when you took the isopropyl alcohol, it cleaned everything off, and that's really what the surface looked like. You're just looking at the real surface that wasn't masked. I have no idea. So I think there's a couple of things that would go on. What I'm unsure about is 89 is like right around the time when it was either single stage. It's likely clear coat, but I don't know. It sounds like it's not clear coat.
Well, wait, the Cyclone was 91 to 94.
Okay, this was an 89.
89 said.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a different truck. So
Yeah.
it's right in that where it's not like a 60s, or you're like, oh, it's clearly, and it's not like a 90s.
Right,
So it's kind of like in a funky area. So he might be battling, which I believe he probably is, single stage paint, sort of reacting to the temperature and reacting to putting that much pressure. And this is a question that I would love to have Kevin Brown on and then look at it, and then because there's 50 different ways, there's no way for me to tell. But
no one obvious thing.
No, I would say it this way. Kevin, maybe not Kevin because he's a freak of nature, but like, let's say me. If I was doing it, I'd probably be running into the same issues. It's not like, dude, you screwed it up. You should have done this and that. I would probably have done the same thing. I'm like, what is going on here? And then had to have diagnosed backwards. So I don't want to feel like I'm not helping him, but it's like going to the doctor and be like, I have a headache. Am I going to die? It's like, I have no idea. We got to do 10,000 tests. So he's in a legitimate, difficult situation. Call me off air so I need to see pictures.
Okay, so
look at you controlling everything.
I am. I'm a master of my domain.
Yes.
Plug away. Let's end the show. Plug away.
AmmoNYC.com. All the products in the world that I love the support, and then
you can buy them in person.
You can buy them in person here
at Westside Collector Car Storage. Both of our locations, Playa Vista and South Bay. Only place in California you can walk in and walk out with ammo products.
That's
you
actually
have a full inventory.
The only place in the United States. You can do that in Australia, but only place in the United States you can do that. AmmoNYC.com. I said that. Instagram, all that. If you can go on, if you're listening to this and you're a fan and you want to help, if you can go on HBO Max or Discovery Plus and give the television show a watch so I can get some more views or
at
clicks.
Or at the very least on YouTube.
Or
if
YouTube
you can't get to
whatever.
either of those, the Discovery Channel, YouTube, Discovery Plus YouTube channel
every click or
does
whatever
have it.
counts.
I watched it there yesterday.
So how many views did it have, by the way? Do you remember?
Because I didn't look.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I don't know if it was like 1 or like a million. I
didn't look. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I should take a look at that. But so that, and then tomorrow I'm with your buddy Adam Carolla.
My old co-host.
Your old co-host. Yeah. So I'm going to be doing. Is it the BRE 510 or the 510 BRE? I can't remember. Do you know which way?
Well, I think the way Adam says it is BRE 510. Yeah.
Okay.
So old race car.
Fiberglass, I would imagine. Yeah. So Kevin and I are going to polish it up because he's driving it down to Monterey. So that's what we're doing. So check that out on his show. But yeah, there's my plugs.
All right, great. Thank you everybody for listening and watching today. Thank you to our patrons as always for such fabulous questions. I apologize one more time that this one wasn't done live, but I'm sure you understand. Zach will be back in studio next week.
And the studio channel. I forgot. We have behind the scenes of you and I. Monkeying around.
Where's that going?
That's going to go on the studio. So it's going to go on my second YouTube channel where it's not
the B-side.
Yeah, where it's just like behind the scenes and whatever.
BTS channel of me and Larry going up PCH and the Manx and
this and Adam and whatever.
All them shits.
Yeah.
I'm going to Car Week, and so these episodes are going to air for everybody else that's not a patron while we're at Car Week, and then we'll have our post Car Week wrap up after that, as well as like all the stuff that I've not talked about because Zach's been gone, like the Vanquish and the M5 Touring and like all this other stuff. Thanks everybody. Have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you next time.